This is not your normal discussion where we talk all about the hard topics uncensored and unfiltered. This is not your normal discussion where we talk all about the hard topics uncensored and unfiltered. This is not your normal discussion.
Hi, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Not Your Normal Discussion. I am your host, Queen Pedii.
It's your boy Tryst, wishing you bliss.
It's your man Samurai with two eyes.
And I am back, Jay Allen, here for some lovely discussion.
As you guys can see, we have a new person, a new co-host. He will be filling in for Kenny while he is at school.
Wow.
Oh my gosh. So I hope that everybody had a great weekend. I did my mommy's makeup for a grown and sexy party that she went to. Even though she didn't want a full face makeup, I made sure she looked absolutely fucking stunning. I mean, she looked, if I can find a picture, I will put it up here. But yeah, my mama looked good, honey. And I slept.
Nice. For me, so I came upstate. I'm out here with my white family out in Hudson. And been just looking after the dogs, and pretty soon they're gonna go take a trip, and it'll be just me with all the animals, making sure everything is good. So it's been a good week thus far.
Oh, awesome.
It's been an alright week, just working hard, waiting to take this new job. Not gonna say too much, but hopefully that goes nice, and yeah.
Awesome sauce. How about you, Jaden?
Well, I had a eventful past few days. Went to the dentist, got that resolved, and now I am back to my usual self. And it was like, oh wow, that's really all it took. Cool. And my pain threshold astounds yet another doctor. And they're like, really? That doesn't bother you? And I'm like, no, it really doesn't. I'm okay. And my wife is like, how are you this cognitive after getting a tooth pulled?
Because I'm gonna tell you, when I got my full wisdom teeth pulled at the same time, oh child, I was like beans, and I was like, I had what's it called, Tylenol 3, and I was out of it.
I actually had my 4 wisdom teeth pulled when I was like 19. And I went to a party that weekend, like literally that night.
Because it was, I wanted to go to a party that weekend at like the club, because I used to go to this club called Midnight, and yeah, I was no good. My mouth was hurting, so I'm just glad you were able to party.
I was told to sit my ass down a lot.
Oh Lord,
sit down. I'm like, no.
Never. All right, you guys. So our topics for this week are going to be Donald Trump reposting Lindsay Graham saying if he's arrested, supporters will riot in the streets, student loan forgiveness, and do you think that it will be enough to offset the recession or help in the midterms? Can men be raped by females? And if so, why is it not talked about? And the difference between an adapted story and an inspired story. And now, a word from our sponsors.
Artemis of the Dodecatheon is a fantastical whirlwind of action, strong characters, mystery quests, and a lot of drama. 4.9 stars on Inkit. Purchase it on Amazon today. A to Z Creations is a Black woman-owned business that creates customized items such as rolling trays, clothing, tumblers, glasses, bags, jewelry, and more.
All right. So if you guys have not seen the news or have not been on Twitter, everybody is tweeting about Truth Social and how Donald Trump has reposted Lindsey Graham on Fox News saying that if Donald Trump is arrested, that the supporters are going to riot in the streets. Did y'all not already see what happened during January 6th? Like, y'all, a whole bunch of y'all got arrested. Like, do you think he won't get arrested again? I don't understand like this cult mindset that they have, because like I'm trying to do this article on Truth Social, and the things I am seeing, like they are just, it's a cult. It's definitely a cult. Like they believe everything this man says. Like if you're like, you know, a Democrat or independent and you're not, you know, for Trump or whatever, they'll literally be like, I'm muting and blocking you. I'm muting and blocking you. If you report them, they'll be kicked off. I'm like, but isn't Truth Social supposed to be like where you wouldn't get blocked and all that? At least that's what my understanding of the app was supposed to be, right? Where like you just speak your mind and not be attacked. But I digress. But anyway, this is actually very dangerous, you know, dangerous rhetoric that Lindsey Graham is spouting on Fox News, because these people are already on edge. They already feel like, you know, Donald Trump was cheated out of his his second term of presidency when he was not. So and when when mar-a-lago was raided, people started doing crazy shit. Like the guy that went to the FBI building in Ohio with a nail gun, shooting at the fucking window, like, sir, and then got his ass clapped. Like, I don't feel bad for you, sir. You were trying to kill people, and that's not okay. And then also, somebody tried to hit the barrier to the Capitol here in DC, and before cops could really actually get to him, he shot himself. And it's beginning to get sad and scary, because these people are like really laying their lives on the line for someone that doesn't even care about them. Like there are talks of civil war, and it's just it's scary. Anybody want to chime in on this?
I mean, if you have a cult of people who will do anything you say, why wouldn't you use them? It's a personal army that you have at your disposal at all times. But whether or not, I do believe if he actually does get arrested and even convicted, although I don't know about conviction, I do believe that they will go ham. Like the insurrection was a test run.
Yeah.
And then the raid of Mar-a-Lago was another test run. But like he's been impeached, twice? I can see him being indicted, but whether he actually goes down really, to me, depends on how they treat this case, like, and the facts of the case. If it's more so just like, oh, he wanted to keep his papers from, Kim Jong-un, his little love letters, and then also, he was just being reckless because he was waiting for Mike Pence to overturn shit so he could still be president. And so he was in a rush to leave when that didn't happen. If they treat it on some but Hillary shit, then he's gonna get off. But if there's more truth to the whole thing about where people say that there's might actually be tied to them giving nuclear information to Saudi Arabia, like Jared Kushner actually has a deal with Saudi Arabia for $2 billion, where the government didn't want to give it to him, but their leader, the Crown Prince, MBS, approved it himself and said that Jared Kushner actually gave him classified information. And then there's also the whole golf course thing that they had, where they bought up all these American golf players and were playing on Trump's course, and they gave Trump $100 million for that. So if there's actual truth to there being like nuclear secrets, or if like what Michael Cohen said, who used to be Trump's right-hand man, who said Trump is such like a vindictive, cartoon, sadistic, sociopathic man that like if he was to go down, he would say like, oh, well, I have a bunch of people who are willing to go to jail for me, who will take all these classified information and pass it to Iran, to North Korea, to Russia, to China. If those things are like true and they actually investigate that deeply, oh, I mean, yeah, his ass is gone. But
Yeah.
we see how it is with the powerful. So even if all that's true, we don't know how deep they'll go for that.
Is he being prosecuted in New York?
They're doing the taxing for the Trump organization, so I can see a lot of I can see him being brought up to testify. I can see them trying to charge him, but especially with the way a lot of it's going so far right now, I feel like it's going to be more so like his organization's corrupt and people who are helping him were corrupt, but it doesn't necessarily mean that he was the corrupt one. So I think he might slip on that, but I think it'll be the biggest thing to expose that.
But we can see that he's corrupt though. Like that's something we literally see. Like if I showed y'all screenshots from True Social, oh man, y'all would be like, oh my God, this is like really wild. Like he literally looks like he's having a breakdown. And also True Social is going bankrupt because he's not paying his bills.
Yeah, it's like what, $1 million or something like that he owes?
1.6 million.
Mm-hmm.
But who else wants to have a comments?
I mean, I know when I was reflecting on this topic, everything from the presidency was coming back to me where he already had all those tweets, and I'm just like, who is letting him have a phone? At this point, isn't there like an aide that goes, for national security purposes, sir, we have to take your phone?
Yeah.
Like, I remember when he was president thinking, okay, yeah, you're definitely an adult pretender who's just a kid in an adult's body running around.
Yeah.
Because you have the ability to, and he's fat cat money. He's old money. So, of course, he has no sense of reality. Like, he's
Can
not.
we really say he's old money though? Because the money technically came. I feel like old money is usually like not two, but 3 generations behind. That's old money. New money is like the next generation is, just
Usually
getting that
new
money.
money is, from what my understanding of new money is you made your money. He did not make all of his money.
True.
And also, his 2 generations back, they were laying the groundwork. So he actually didn't do most of the work. Yeah, he learned the system and he learned how to manipulate what was already there, but that is old money tactics. And we have to remember he's older than he looks. I mean, he
look old. He looks old.
And he's old, but he's really not. He's not like Bezos.
Yeah, like him and Joe Biden are around the same age.
Yeah, they are. I think they are. Yeah.
Like this is an old system that's still being implemented that I feel like the younger millionaires are like, that's not how we play the game anymore, bro. Yeah. That's why you're getting busted. And because he's a child in the mind, he doesn't understand why he's getting busted because he's learned the old way. Yeah. And there's a reason why those old ways are getting like dwarfed in the face of new business.
Yeah.
But my concern as far as this whole cult following is because he's got all that social media charisma. Like that's where I'm like, he's a child. He's got the charisma of a little kid on a stage that's got everybody looking at him. As long as you can hold the attention, like I'm like, this is really sad. And the fact that people keep falling for it, that's what worries me. Because I've been worried about us having a civil war before people were talking about it.
Yeah.
I remember maybe it's because I already came from like my dad's black, my mom's white. I already knew that division going on, how my extended family took forever to come around. Like I knew those divisions. Yeah, my mother's family was originally going to meet my dad until they found out he was black, and then they canceled the trip. Yeah, that's how that started. So I'm already like, believe me, I know it's out there, but the new tactics they're doing, like I said, Trump's like, I got to find a way to get out of what's going on, so I have to distract you.
Yeah. And
I
that's
have to
literally
distract
what
you
he's
with
been
something.
doing on Truth Social. He's distracting everybody
Yes,
by
it's
saying these
all
wild, crazy things.
all a distraction. Then again, what is social media? It
A
literally
distract-
distracts from news. I mean, Tryst, how many times have you been like, why did we stop talking about this? Because they got distracted.
I was gonna say another thing though, like that you mentioned. We got to remember the Teflon Don image, where he'll get slaps on the wrist, he'll get taxed, he'll get sued, he'll have to pay out something that he'll just file bankruptcy for to have to restructure his company to not have to actually directly pay out. But he always, people love him because, again, like I said, he's got charisma. He's funny. He tells it like people want to be able to tell it, and they see him as this, for them, very refreshing thing compared to what politics was before. Like, he came into the game and changed everything, and there's something that those people see in themselves that they want to be able to affect too. And so joining this cause is their way to basically fly their flag, to be like him, to be able to get out of shit that otherwise they didn't know how to. Like,
It almost feels like a social media influencer.
yeah, basically, yeah. That's why he won, and that's why he could have won in 2020 if not for the whole, hey, don't vote in person, but don't fucking do no mail-in ballot shit. Like, he fucked himself on that, but he now has a chance if he doesn't get convicted and, of a felony of running again and possibly winning, depending on how things play out in inflation. That's another thing. What about you, Glenn? What do you think?
Well, this man don't really talk about these things, but I mean, at least they got unity. And I'm not a Trump hater. Well, I'm not a Trump lover. I think he keep it real sometimes, and people ain't ready for brutal truth at sometimes. Yeah, that's my opinion. People ain't ready for brutal
What
truth.
has he said that was the truth? I needs to know, honey. I needs to
Like I said,
know.
I don't really follow the man like that, but
Then how you know he be telling the truth?
oh, dude, that's what riles people up. Whenever you tell the truth, it riles people up.
Where did Tristan go?
He just dropped off the face of the earth.
Oh my God,
This
that
blooper
service.
reel is going to be interesting.
It is. Oh man. Woo. But yeah, but no, I don't. He does not tell the truth. That's the issue that people are having with him, and he gets caught in his lies.
I mean, he definitely lies, yeah.
No, he lies all the damn
lies?
time. Like, I don't know what imagination that he has or what delusions he has, but yeah, like, he lies a lot.
Better yet, he just doesn't hold his tongue.
No, he's a liar.
No, that's what I said. I said better yet, he just doesn't hold his tongue. He says it how he feels it.
No, no, that's lying.
Whether it's a lie or not, he says it how he feels it, which I can respect.
Yeah, he can say how he feels, but if how he feels is a lie, then what is the point of that? Like, how is that okay?
Wow. People voted him to be president, so.
Like I said, because he has the charisma of a kid at a talent show. It's captivated everybody. It doesn't mean it's good.
Yeah.
It's just everybody is staring at that stage going, look at that kid selling it. They have no talent, but dear God, they're selling it.
They're selling it. I mean,
honestly, some of the YouTube podcasts that I listen to, they refer to it as adult pretenders. They have the age and the body of an adult, but their mind is a child.
Yeah. And that is exactly what he is, a king child.
Yes. They're grown as adults, but they don't act like it. They don't know how to act.
Seen some shit like this in my life. Like I never thought that what I would see in my days of living is this country being so far up their fucking ass with the racism and with their horrible thoughts. I never thought that there would be moments where people are like, oh, Civil War. Like, we did that already. We did that.
Not surprised.
I'm not surprised. I'm just saying that I never thought I would see it.
Well,
Doesn't mean that I'm surprised. Because
isn't that a product of being more connected and having access to things faster than ever? Is that everything escalates faster?
yeah. And this is
think.
definitely escalating. And I'm gonna say, like I said for probably the past 2 or 3 shows, get yourself a concealed carry license, y'all, because these MAGA people not to say this white
not just them, it's the government, it's the way the world is
these
going.
people are crazy. And they are talking about how they want to shoot people, how, they want civil war. Child, the military going to mow their ass the fuck down. Like, y'all done lost y'all damn minds over a man who has a mushroom penis. Okay? His ass got a toad penis. It looks like toad. Fucking toad.
Seen it? It's like this.
I have a picture
it
of
ain't
him
the first
naked.
time. It ain't the first time.
I was gonna say some people like shiitakes though.
But it's not a shiitake though. That's the thing. It's a
Oyster?
baby Bella.
Not the baby.
A baby Bella. White mushroom.
You got me feeling bad for mushrooms now.
I mean, I can't look at mushrooms the same now. I can't.
Well, mushrooms, like my wife and I being pagan, mushrooms are like, we have like mushroom stones and we offer them to the fairies all the time. She makes fairy circles. Yeah, I'm like, why you got me feeling bad for mushrooms?
I mean,
they're like, we didn't ask to be associated with this.
Look, today they are being associated with it. But you guys, let's take our commercial break.
Artemis of the Dodecatheon is a fantastical whirlwind of action, strong characters, mystery quests, and a lot of drama. 4.9 stars on Inkit. Purchase it on Amazon today.
And also for our next topic, we're talking about something you probably already know of, unless you're under a rock. Biden's debt relief for student loans, where he's doing basically 10K student loan forgiveness for basically everyone who has one of those federal loans for a public college. And I think it's great, but I also wish he would go further, especially with some other things his administration is getting ready to do. So it's wildly popular. Canceling 10K in student loans is actually going to cancel student loans for about a third of all borrowers, which is great. Mm-hmm. And if they actually increased it to 20K, it would cancel it for about half of all borrowers. So for all the people who are saying, "Oh, it's going to increase inflation," or the government and its handouts, please remember that people weren't about to pay this money back no time soon. Like 1 out of 5 people who borrowed are already in default. 80% of borrowers say they're not ready for payments to restart right now. But I think that Biden should go all the way and just cancel all student loans and free up the economy, because his Fed chair, Jerome Powell, is talking about increasing interest rates to basically slow the economy down and basically force mass layoffs and huge unemployment. Like unemployment right now is about between 3 and 4%, and he's talking about increasing it to 6 to 8%. So think about, especially during these next 4 months, this is Christmas shopping time. Think about what shutting down the government means then. This is a time where Amazon hires about 40% more seasonal workers for this season. Think about what that means for layoffs, for people getting raises, for people who've been fighting and getting unions for higher benefits and collective bargaining power. And I think while it's looking good in the polls, and actually Biden finally has a good approval rating for once, and Democrats are looking good in some battleground states for the coming midterms, think about how quickly that can shift if you raise interest rates, basically crush the economy, crush workers. Like literally after Powell gave his speech, the richest Americans lost $78 billion. Like Elon Musk lost $5.5 billion. Jeff Bezos lost like $6.8 billion, which is another thing to talk about redistribution, where these men can lose billions of dollars and not even feel it. But think about us. Like, it's one thing to like already have gone through a little bit of inflation and like you have to be more careful about what you're spending. But imagine now you lose your job. And Powell's admitting to Congress that what he's doing might not even fix inflation, because it's not going to do anything for the supply chain crisis for like gas and chips that are importing in new cars. It's not going to do anything for the war in Ukraine and Russian sanctions. It's not going to do anything for the corporate profiteering and price gouging, because inflation was literally just companies saying, oh, there's a media panic around inflation, let's raise our prices. So we have a system that like is admitting it needs to keep certain people crushed underfoot and poor. And you're going to take something where people are already trying to tie it to inflation, and people in their minds probably will, if you fucking raise interest rates, crush the economy, get people fired, and then it does nothing for inflation. But what do y'all think?
I'm going to be honest. I'm happy that he finally really got his promise kind of fulfilled. Because I definitely was side-eyeing him, because I'm like, dude, I took a risk in voting for you because my candidate was fucked over by the party. But I'm happy that he is, working on it. I'm hoping that he does do more. I hope that he just, like you said, clears everything. Just clear it all. Like help the little people.
Can I add one more thing too? He literally has the power to do that with an executive order. Like he could tomorrow on his own do that.
Yeah, but I think that this is going to help Biden in the midterms, though, because like you said, a third of people they don't have debt anymore, and a lot of people now are going to be feeling as if, okay, I am now free, or at least a little bit more free to kind of do what they want with their money. And now they don't have to decide whether or not they're going to choose paying their light bill or paying for food or paying that student loan, because they don't want the debt to rise higher. So this is going to help. And it could offset the recession. It's just
I just hope it's not a band-aid on a gaping wound.
True, but it's more of, what is the word I'm looking for? It's just, I'm just hoping that, this can help people. That's all I got for right now, because I'm hot and yeah. Who wants to go next?
I mean, I had some feelings about this myself. One, it is on the public scale, which won't help me.
Same.
I only went for one semester because I had to leave because financially it wasn't going to help me with it was only covering school. It wasn't covering any of my other bills. I only took one loan because I did not want to take a risk.
Yeah.
I took as many grants as I could get. And one semester, and I have 14 grand. And my wife went for a year and a half, and she's got 17. So, and that's not including my baby sister, who has 6 figures of debt, is going for her master's. And again, she didn't go to public because her Christian education mattered to her. That's
I'm sorry.
Like, but like, also, it's 10K. When most of the people I know have 6 figures, if they went for a full degree, it's 6 figures. It's not 10 grand. Also, sir, why is it public institutions? Why isn't it anybody who has a federal student loan? That's where you have the power to move things.
Well, I think that the reason why he did public institutions is because a lot of people who did go to public institutions were basically hard on money or hard with the financial system, financial support that he had. We're just going to keep rolling. And it's more of they couldn't afford to really go to the private school unless they had scholarships. And if they didn't get a scholarship, they just had to go on to the public ones, and then they make you get the loans and everything, and yet still, I mean, either way you're in debt. Either way. But I feel like they're probably feeling like the ones that went to private school, they could have afforded it. First off, they could have afforded it, and that their degree might afford them to get a higher paying job, which means that they would be able to pay off their loans faster. But that's not what's happening, sadly. But I do understand your gripe. I do. Is it gripe or gripe?
Right. Well, I didn't go to a private institution because of those reasons. I was going for a very specific type of degree.
Yeah.
That if I was wasting time taking extracurriculars and core classes and things like that, no, I specifically was going to school. I wanted to learn animation. I wanted to learn the ins and outs of how to get into that field. I wanted to do pre-production and make new children's cartoons, adult cartoons. I wanted to be a part of making it better. Yeah. And this particular institution, they gave you your core classes, but they found ways to integrate it with your degree. My math class, my wife and I suck at math, at least advanced math. And what our math teacher did was she says, okay, everybody, you know what your degrees are? And she made us integrate our actual vocation into our projects. Like as an animation degree, I had to use like a geometric shape. I had to actually use like geometry to measure out the lines and things like that, which in 3D animation is a big part of that. But she was like, all right, and then I also want you to incorporate some kind of characterization and theme. So I decided to take the dimensions of a triangle, and I incorporated the multiple layers of Wonderland, like the different things that Alice like encountered. Like I had the Cheshire Cat over there, I had the Mad Hatter, I had the Red Queen, and all these different things around there. And it tied into like how much it weighed into the story based on the portions of it. Yeah, I got passing colors with that because I know you did. I hand drew it too, and she was like, "Wow, you hand drew this entire thing was done by hand. You did computer?" And I was like, "No, because I don't have a good computer." That was the other reason I had to drop out. I didn't have a state-of-the-art computer to have Maya or Toon Boom or any of these programs that we were getting free. We could download from our school to go to our computer. My computer, which is the one I'm on right now, it wouldn't support it. It's too old. I couldn't afford to get a new computer.
Understandable.
So yeah, my wife was going for interior design. She wanted to be, getting in touch with design work, but also buildings. Like that would get her into whole industry and make more money. So yeah, we wouldn't get any help from it though.
Yeah, damn, that fucking sucks. I'm so sorry, but I'm glad that that one teacher was making y'all think, honey, making y'all think. I love that.
Yes,
I
but
love
public institutions won't do that.
No.
It depends on your professor, because I had professors that made me.
But they demotivate the professors to stick to what the institution wants them to do, because that's how they get their money from the government. That's why public institutions get their funding. They're told what.
And think about how a lot of that goes back to Reagan too.
My teachers kind of broke the rules.
Oh yeah, there are tons that break the rules. My dad did that. Yeah. My dad did that, but he got away with it and almost got Teacher of the Year for the state of California. So yeah, you gotta stick to your guns.
I would say I don't know if Glenn went yet.
He has not gone yet. I was about to say he needs to actually go.
It doesn't really affect me much, but
yeah, same here. But I still have something.
What I will say is what my stance on all of this is yes, give them relief. I think that the whole school system is a trap. I think that it's completely damn backwards, and it's sad that you have to pay these huge, ridiculous thousands of dollar prices just to get some schooling.
Yes.
And I mean, I've always stood on that. It's ridiculous all the way down from high school to middle school. Like it all really needs to be structured differently, and not going too deep bluff. But that's why it's a trap. It's not even about your schooling at the end of the day. It's all about money for certain people and a huge trap to get us in the jail system. Like it's all organized, so it's crazy.
Yeah.
If I had the power,
I'll agree. Because even like I feel really bad for like medical students because they are definitely some of the top top people in student loan debt. Like they when you say 6 figures, that's they got 6 figures.
My baby sister is a psych major.
Oh, see, there you go. 6 figures. And
that's Reagan too.
That's why. Well, it's not why I kind of decided, but it definitely threw me off of wanting to be a biology major. Because, I
wanted to be a vet. I wanted to be a vet when I was a kid. I thought that would be a great backup plan to being a writer. No, that's a lot of money.
You will go in debt trying to be an animal doctor, y'all. You don't even go to medical school for that. Like you literally go to a school that teaches you to work on animals. Like that, it's a private institution. And I don't know what's happening with Tryst over there. All right, you know what? Let's go to our commercial break. I don't know what's happening.
Artemis of the Dodecatheon is a fantastical whirlwind of action, strong characters, mystery quests, and a lot of drama. 4.9 stars on Inkit. Purchase it on Amazon today.
It's your boy Samurai with 2 eyes. And you know I gotta bring the hitters to the quitters. Anyway, let's get to it. So, can men be raped by females? And if so, why are they not talked about? I think this is it's a hard topic because people don't really talk about it, but it happens all the time. But amazingly, this is one of the ones where I feel yes and no. I feel my yes is not really a yes. It's more of a. I mean, I'm sorry. My no is not really a no. It's
Okay.
more of a under. It's more of a understanding that men are usually more physical than a female. So when you talk about it being reversed, it has to be more on either my scenario, my first time without a condom was with a big girl. And
It
about the
was with a what?
time a big girl, like a huge, a big girl, a big girl.
What they gotta do with rape?
Well, you didn't let me finish the story.
Sorry.
I said my situation was with a big girl,
Mhm.
and she got on top of me. I didn't have a condom. I really didn't want to do that. And she was so big that I couldn't necessarily easily move her off of me at the time. And then I guess like most rape victims, you get to a point where you mentally just shut down. But being a man, you don't talk about it because the first thing that's gonna be told to me, oh, you know you wanted that, and I think that's why you know what I'm saying it's really not talked about because we don't have no grounds to talk about it. The first thing that people usually say is you know you wanted that, especially in a situation like mine, compared to say a guy that was totally drugged and took an advantage of. So I feel like it's it all depends on how it's going down. Because most people are going to look at the fact that you could have just pushed her off or you could have just did this. But no, I mean men can be manipulated in the mind just like females can, and I think it should be talked about a lot more, especially in a culture where these women are running rapid yelling rape from years ago and all this crap, that's going on. And saying some of it is true and some of it ain't, but in the culture of that is woman, 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 and it's not talked. The men are not talked about a lot at all, and I don't think that's fair. What do y'all feel about that?
You're right. It's not fair. I actually wish that more men would come out and say, hey, this happened to me, because a lot of males seem to think that because a grown woman, came on to them and that's their first sexual experience, that, they're the man because they're told that having sex makes you a man and makes you her. So it's interesting that y'all, I'm not gonna say y'all's mindset, but what is ingrained into your mind is that sex is okay. Sex with a grown woman is even better, even though you're a kid, but like 15, 16. Like I know a couple people that have told me that happened to them. And I'm just like, I'm not gonna say who it is. I'm not gonna put their business out there. So, and it's disturbing because actually one person didn't even know that they had been raped. They didn't even know it. And I explained to them, I'm like, hey, no, that's not okay. Like, you're not, that wasn't supposed to happen to you. You were in the single digits, okay? Single digits of age. That's not right. That's right. So, yeah, yeah. So yeah, I do wish that males would just speak up. Like, Me Too isn't just for women. It's for y'all too. It is for men as well. And I need y'all to realize that this is not just a woman, led. I mean, it is women led, but it doesn't mean that only women can claim it. Men can claim it too. Put it out there. Let people know that, this isn't just just women, having sex with you, and that's okay. It's not okay. Older women shouldn't be looking at or touching younger guys. And the same goes for women. I mean, for men, older men touching younger girls. Don't do it. Stop it. Get some help. Who wants to
go? Well, because I don't know how much time I'm gonna have because of my Wi-Fi, I do want to show a couple of videos I was looking at. Not videos, but like one by Jimmy Robbins. This TikTok trend is just sexual assault against men. And then another great video, Pop Culture Detective, Sexual Assault of Men Played for Laughs. And has a part 1 and part 2 about male and female perpetrators. And like, I learned a lot of great stats about it that goes into like, on one hand, yes, most of the victims are women and most of the perpetrators are men. And usually when men are raped, it's by other men. But so much of our rape culture is.
Uh-oh. His Wi-Fi is doing the thing again.
Or feminine or something like that.
Okay, so we didn't hear you.
Jeez.
He said
yeah, what was the last thing he said?
Basically just that, this part of rape culture, like on one hand, it basically makes it where women are being coercive as, cute. And it's to basically invalidate all victims still. It makes it so that, there's a leniency where we question rape in the first place and we're silencing men, we're cheering on when they're being taken by women, especially if they're attractive, even if they're older, or even if it's a relationship where you don't want sex, but she's forcing it. And there's, like I said, there's still the thing where, most victims are women and most men, or most perpetrators are men. And most of the times men who are raped by men. But still, it doesn't erase the fact that women can also be abusers. But we don't think of it that way because the thing about the way our thoughts on gender and rape culture is broken up, we're looking for like, well, I guess it could happen in this circumstance. And it becomes very, only in this way can it happen. Like, if she's old or if she's ugly or this, that, and the other. But no, rape can happen to anyone under a number of circumstances, and sexual assault, sexual harassment, sexual coercion. And it's more so about not just letting these things play out as jokes, not just silencing people and trying to tell them, that didn't really happen to you, but realizing that like a lot of this goes back deep in history and deep into the way we think about gender and about being a man and being a woman.
I guess I was saying let me go last on this one because this is another one I'm kind of strong feelings on. I know I've mentioned before, I started really coming into how I portrayed myself in the public eye in high school. Most people actually thought I was cis male. I was passing that well. But that had some drawbacks. I actually was preyed on more by girls at school. I nearly got cornered because at my school we have these staircases that are on like the outside of the building. You have to like go in like this glass column to go around. I got cornered by a few girls that tried to literally. I had a girl. I was coming up the stairs to go around it. She's coming down. She deadlocked me in the eye and started unbuttoning her shirt and walking at me. It's and I literally was like, if you don't want my hand on you, shoving you that way, you best back up. And she went, you don't deserve it anyway.
Like, sir, I mean, man,
yeah, exactly. So I'm over here like, I have pretty strong feelings on how I feel about how this perpetuation of how a predator chases a prey. So for me, though, I had to really think about this. Like, where is this coming from? Why do people think this way? And I realized it's part of that rape culture ideology of they've romanticized rape. Like this whole kink that women and men have. They're developing a kink for it. Usually I've noticed it more on the prey end of it. On the victim side, they fantasize about it, but they don't actually want it. But there are a lot of people that they fantasize about being the predator on that end. And I've noticed this a lot in romance novels. Like, I've talked to other authors, and this is where I have an issue with romance and erotica novels. I'll talk to them and be like, where did you come up with that scene? And they're like, oh, yeah, I have fantasies. And I'm like, fantasies? Okay. You realize what you wrote there, right? And there's no accountability. It's a-okay. It's totally acceptable. So this is where I think men, they want to, I think a lot of men would like to come forward, but then they're going to be faced with, bruh, you got laid.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no. There's a difference between actually connecting with a human being in a vulnerable state and connecting together and humping and bumping. There's a difference. I'm not saying either one is invalid, but when you don't have a general respect for the partner, you have now gone into dubious consent.
Yeah.
And when you go to the point where you go, I don't want this, and they go anyway, now you have crossed the line.
Yeah.
It's not dubious. This is rape. So that's where I have very strong feelings on that front. I have been cornered by women that were it's usually girls that are my age. I have not a lot of older people prey on me, but I have seen it. And I've actually gotten in people's faces. I was probably the bane of my neighborhood because I chased some people out of my neighborhood over it. It was mostly guys, but a few times I had to put my foot down and I scared some ladies. But then again, the boy brought it on himself. I mean, he was literally like breaking into his parents' wine cellar and like trying to get people to come to he kind of brought it on himself.
He was a little high in the pants there. He was a little high in the pants.
Oh yeah, but at the same time, I was like, that doesn't mean he deserves the violence that's to come. Like, I don't wish that on you. Do I think that there is some accountability of when you went too far and you didn't realize what you were doing? Those are consequences that we live with. But at the same time, I don't, if I see somebody walking into traffic, what do? We go, no, don't do that. Because we care. We should care about each other as human beings. And that's where I go, people who don't care, that can be men, women, and everything in between. If you do not care, it can happen. And it can happen to anybody. Yeah. Regardless of age, regardless of gender, identity, how you portray yourself, it can happen. It's just and manipulating, that I've noticed is how a lot of women prey on men. They will get in their head, and then the next thing the guy knows, they're like, wait, what just happened? Yeah. Like you were saying, Glenn, you were like, whoa. Yeah. I don't have a condom. What are we doing here? No. Yeah,
that's so
but unacceptable. They wait and they look for those footholds, and then they just weave in there. So yes, 100%. But on the same time, I think it's capable on either side.
Yeah, definitely. And you know that my brain just remembered this story like years ago, like when I was a kid, where this mother was raping her son, her 7-year-old son, having sex with him. And I think the way she got caught was, I think he mentioned it to his teacher, and she got arrested, of course. 1, incest, 2, rape, you know. So even your mama can do it to you. So let's go to our commercial.
Artemis of the Dodecatheon is a fantastical whirlwind of action, strong characters, mystery quests, and a lot of drama. 4.9 stars on Inkit. Purchase it on Amazon today. A to Z Creations is a Black woman-owned business that creates customized items such as rolling trays, clothing, tumblers, glasses, bags, jewelry, and more.
Okay, so today I'm very curious to hear your thoughts on this. I'm big on storytelling and how this connects people and can also bring us joy and happiness and stuff like that. But right now, there's a lot of unhappiness that I'm hearing about something that I think a lot of us would love to see more of, at adapting a favorite book series or favorite game or something like that into a movie or TV show. Now, I've seen a lot of examples where it has not gone well, and examples where, wow, that blew my socks off. The two that I really was wanting to bring up is like a comparison just to show the difference between an adaptation and something that was just inspired by it. I'm not sure if any of you have seen The Sandman on Netflix.
I have not yet. Oh my God.
I highly recommend. No spoilers. This is production only. Okay. But I highly recommend The Sandman for one of these big reasons. Neil Gaiman, the author who wrote it, actually was on the production team. And he made a quote that changed my mindset on adaptations forever. He said that if I had been writing this story today, what would I change? So everybody who was criticizing about how they changed things for being woke and purposes, no, he literally thought, if I was going to write this exact story today, what would I change today? Because the whole thing about Sandman was it was supposed to be relevant for the time. It was supposed to be this timeless tale about endless deities that existed at the beginning and to the end. Yeah. And these are human beings that engage with them throughout time and things like that. So he wanted to bring it to a modern setting, which is why I actually watched it and I went, wow, I actually appreciate these adaptations. But that's what you do when you adapt something. Yeah. And this is from the author's perspective because he can speak for himself. Unfortunately, we have a lot of inspireds, that one of the biggest ones right now being the Rings of Time or the Rings of Power from Amazon. Yeah. Wheel of Time they did as well and they botched it. But I know more about the Rings of Power one because I am familiar with Tolkien's work. They have been saying it's an adaptation and it's adaptation. And then in the last few weeks, they actually changed on the trailers that it is inspired by the works of Tolkien. Now, the inspirations, and this is where I say there's nothing wrong with an inspired work. They loved the setting, they loved the characters, the conflict, and things like that, and they wanted to write something new. Where I feel the Rings of Power is falling short is that they took established characters that people are very familiar with and changed them into something that isn't them, even at their core. And this is to push an agenda that is not relevant to the character. Now you can spin where maybe this would work with this character because at their core being, this could align with them. But they didn't follow that. They actually waited for Tolkien's son Christopher to pass away before they changed everything. Christopher Tolkien actually had very specific guidelines on what he wanted done. And the day he died, production completely shifted. That's when they dumped all the money into it. Yeah, it's very covert. They actually quietly let go of the only Tolkien expert they had left just so they could change everything. Most of these actors aren't even familiar with the work, so they don't even know what they're portraying. They actually stated they wanted this to reflect the world as it is now for a world that doesn't exist here. And that's the whole purpose of fantasy is it's not supposed to be here. You're supposed to be somewhere else. So where I think they could have done better is taken this world, not use the established characters, make their own, make this an adventure that happens in this time period with new characters. That would be an inspiration. And I think inspired works actually can be fun. I mean, we'll get some tiffing from fans on like, that's not canon. but it's an original side. It's its own story on the side, and it would be fun. But I don't. But for you, I'm not sure if there's any games or books or maybe something that you enjoyed that's been adapted, or you've heard's being adapted, or a movie or something like that. I'm not sure. How did you feel? Were you disappointed? Did you like it?
Oh, I got a couple.
Sorry. So I read The Book Thief and was excited to see The Book Thief and was disappointed in The Book Thief. Like, it had some of the things that were in the book, but then it added stuff. And I'm like, you didn't have to add anything. The book and everything in the book was amazing. And my thing is this, like, I like to read before I see something so that I can have a better understanding and have like a deeper, like, not thought process, but just a deeper attachment, maybe. I don't know what the word is.
Appreciation, maybe.
There we go. Thank you. Appreciation of the movie and the script work and the story itself. And when I looked at the book, I was pissed. I was like, this is not the book. Don't say it's from the book when it's not. What else? World of Warcraft. Man, I don't even know if I really want to talk about that shit because what the hell? What the hell was that? Assassin's Creed. Okay. What?
Oh yeah, definitely Assassin's Creed.
That was a sad ass movie.
Yeah.
Sad ass fucking movie. I wish they would just reboot that bitch. Just reboot it. No. If they reboot it and actually do it as the game, because like I like to watch the gameplay and stuff, they can actually do some really good stuff with it. If they get a really good director, I'm telling you, it can succeed. But that shit they brought out in 2009? Child, no. And how they how they were trying to make Sonic look like a freakazoid.
Oh my god.
Okay. Like I was like, I would not have gone to see Sonic if he looked the way they had showed him in the first original trailer. Like, no. And there's other things I have read. Oh, Game of Thrones. I haven't looked at Game of Thrones, but I have read Game of Thrones. And
really?
I've heard that there's some stuff in there that was not in the book. And it just throws me off. It throws me off so bad because I'm like, can we like stick to the story? Like, we don't need all this extra shit. I just want to stick to the story because when I'm reading the book, I'm already thinking in my head what that scene looks like. So to go and look at the movie or the video, or the television show, and it's not even, and a scene isn't even in there, it's like, damn, what was the point? Because that scene would have made the movie really good. Like, you know, like it's just very disappointing sometimes when they do that. But say it's inspired. If you want to go ahead and do that, like inspired, just like they'll be like inspired by a true story. Like the screening that I'm getting ready to look at is inspired by a true story, not based on a true story. But who would like to go next?
I have a couple of jokes with this one. Yeah, because I'm like, I love movies. I love stories. I'm a fanatic. And sometimes when they be coming out with these triples and doubles, I just be like, because I'm a fan, I can't help but to go see it. But for example, Ghostbusters. They like the second one that came out with the woman, I was just like, yo, like you screwed up the whole story. Like, what are you doing? And then they finally came back and fixed it. with the last Ghostbusters, and that Ghostbusters was fucking amazing because
I
they
haven't
went
seen it
back.
yet. I still
Oh,
haven't seen
I
it.
don't want to give it away, but it
Please
is
don't.
amazing because they actually like went back. Like if you saw the original Ghostbusters,
Okay.
which
Yeah,
was
I heard that they
11,
went back to the original characters.
yeah,
I
like
heard.
they didn't screw it up. They followed the storyline, and
Yeah.
that's one thing. Don't stop taking these legend movies and screwing it up, and then
Quick statement. Dragon Ball Evolution. That is all I have to say.
nah.
Yeah. That's the only one that's worse than the one I'm gonna mention.
Oh my god! What? What's worse?
Resident Evil.
No, I was gonna say this is that
Wait,
one was
wait.
worse.
Hold on. Let Glenn finish. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. Go ahead.
My other joint is Resident Evil. I'm a Resident Evil fan, so again, I'm stuck going to see it because I'm a Resident Evil fan. But we had like 4 or 5 movies that was just like, come on now.
Yeah.
Like, you had to wait all the way to the last one to go back to the fucking video game.
Woo!
Oh, it just Resident Evil got so carried away and went left from the first one that I'm like, yo, what in the world is going on? Doom. Oh yeah, Doom was the other one that just did not follow the.
But at least they had that one scene where it was first person.
Yeah, I was like, come on, man. Like it just and the sad thing about like Resident Evil is when I saw the first one, I loved it because I'm like, oh, it's okay to divert a little bit from the game, but still follow the story.
That's
the problem with zombie movies is if you don't have a specific story, like give me a beginning, a middle, and an end. Some zombie movies just go crazy, and it's like no ending in sight. Like I've seen a lot of I can't think off the top. There's a lot of little zombie movies. That's like it's good movies, but then there's bad movies because you don't. It's like you just leave us sitting there. I'm like, give me an end. Whether y'all make it somewhere where there's a cure, whether you find out there is no cure, and the whole world is done, and you're just alone, like something.
Yeah.
Then zombies. Like it has to be an end. So yeah.
Go ahead, Tristan.
The only one worse to me, or not worse, Dragon Ball Evolution has to be the most bastardization there ever was. But the only one that's like in second place is Avatar. M. Night Shyamalan's. That Hello Future Me has a great video going through everything wrong in that damn fucking movie. But I think the big problem, and like what's funny, the new Avatar that's coming out, their whole selling point was we got the creators on it, but it sounds like they want to put more, it's Netflix. They want to sex it up. And so the creators, they've said they want their names disavowed from the shit. They don't want to be attached to the existence of this new one that Netflix is doing. And I think a big problem is, again, these corporations, they think of these things as IPs. The story matters less to them because it's about what can we do as a franchise with this? How can we like appeal first to the fans and then use the fans as a concrete base that we just pile everything on afterwards? Same thing with like Harry Potter versus Fantastic Beasts, where you still have the same writer, but the medium is the message, and so much gets glossed over. Where she's trying to do all the same condensing that she would do for the book and trying to condense all that into these new scripts and needs a script doctor that I'm sure she's not listening to all that much. And that's a problem with a lot of these movies where they're taking these different books that could be like whole series, like The Dark Tower, and condensing multiple chapters, multiple books, multiple seasons or episodes into one movie just to get to the exciting part rather than taking you on the journey with these characters. And I think if they could slow themselves down for a little bit and be like, okay, like I'm not sure I'm gonna say he did Avatar for his kids. It's like, all right, did you ask your kids what they actually like about it? What about the journey that these characters go through do you love about this? And what do you feel is important? Like, no. It was just like, well, when surprise you, I hope she likes it. And it's just like, Dad, this is the worst thing you ever gave me in the world. Like, the fuck? So I think it's very important. Like, these are companies like you see what's happening right now with Infinity Train and David Zaslav cutting everything as like Discovery absorbs, Warner Brothers, and they bastardize HBO Max and animation and all these things on there. We need these people to stop just thinking about how to appeal to Wall Street and how to increase their stock buybacks and how to actually, like, you'll get people want to watch the shit and actually enjoy it if you focus on the story. Even if there are things you're going to change, it should service the story. It should service the journey and make people actually fall in love with the characters versus just being like, this is generic, this is vanilla. You just turned this into like a fairy tale or a Western version of this.
Yeah. But there was another thing I was going to say that was just absolutely
that Matrix sequel that they finally came out with, where the Matrix movie still exists within the universe, but also there's still the thing. I didn't even watch it. Another thing, I love The Giver.
It was good though. It was good. It was good.
You know what?
You just had to be
talk about it. I might look
understand.
for it.
Okay, so the thing is this, like, when me and our editor watched all the Matrix movies to prepare for, the one that came out for, we also watched this animation one that kind of tied everything together. And like that actually made the fourth one make more sense. So if you want to check out, I think it's Matrix. Damn, I can't remember what it's called. I'm sorry.
Animatrix? I love the Animatrix.
Animatrix, yeah. So that made me able to actually, I don't know what I thought I saw, but yeah, that made me actually.
Good for Matrix, that's what you saw.
Yeah, it probably was shit. But I remember now. I'm so glad they did not go through with this shit. But they were going to make a Sims movie.
Oh,
and when I tell you, I was excited until I saw the plot. I was like, nah, baby, don't do that. Cancel that shit right now. Cancel that shit right the fuck now. Because they were trying to say it was a girl who really liked to play The Sims, little 14-year-old. And she basically goes back and forth and thinking that she's in the Sims game. And I was like, nah, baby. Nah. Emoji movie. Emoji fucking movie. That shit was trash. Trash. Emoji movie. It was based on the emojis.
The Free Guy?
Huh?
Oh,
Free Guy? I think that might have stemmed out of the Sim thing.
It sounds like it did, yeah.
It didn't.
No?
Really? Because I remember the plot of that one, and I was like...
Free Guy was good.
I'm not saying it was bad. Oh my God, I laughed.
No, I'm just saying. I like that.
A lot of students make a lot of the same
movies. But no, that has
time.
nothing to do with The Sims at all.
Okay. Because I know she literally, she had the whole blurred lines of like...
Yeah.
And real...
Yeah, but she they were like, she was like, would go to sleep thinking she was in The Sims and be in class and think she was in The Sims. I'm like, that is the dumbest shit. Just have
I see why you think it's the same though.
Huh?
I said I see why Jaden would think that Free Guy.
Yeah. No, I understand.
A lot of studios make the same movies at the same time. Like they hear what's happening in another studio. It's like, let's do that shit. But our version.
Yeah. But I mean, they threw it out, threw the script out because it just was not good. Because people were complaining. Simmers like me, we were complaining. Okay, we don't want no trash ass movie when y'all finally get a movie for The Sims. We don't want that. We want something that is of quality. EA, you're already fucking us over with these broken ass packs. Do not give us a trash ass movie too. Okay, thank you. But let's go to our next commercial break, y'all.
Artemis of the Dodecatheon is a fantastical whirlwind of action, strong characters, mystery quests, and a lot of drama. 4.9 stars on Inkit. Purchase it on Amazon today. A to Z Creations is a Black woman-owned business that creates customized items such as rolling trays, clothing, tumblers, glasses, bags, jewelry, and more.
All right, you guys. So it is time for promotions. I am still selling my shoes from the Queen Pedii line. So you guys, I need 7 pre-orders. 7 pre-orders for the Marquess and the 6 kitten. And then I will definitely throw in my other shoes after I've sold Sex Kitten and Marquess. I'm also here to promote Boxy, a home decor subscription service that ships beautiful items once a month to your home. If you hate going to the store and not being able to decide on what to get out of all the choices, then this is definitely the subscription box for you. Use my code 10off Queen Pedii, that's also linked below in the description box, to get $10 off your first box. Next, I want to promote my book, A Puppy Journey, Ran Pets the World. It's about my emotional support animal and how she saw the world through her eyes. You can purchase it on Amazon or Kindle. Last, I want to promote my blog, Queen Pedii Writes. You can find articles, craft videos, reviews, and more. And look out for my review of Gigi and Nate, or Nate and Gigi, the movie that's coming out on September 2nd. I'm going to the screening, you guys. Yay. All right.
Hey y'all, what's good? It's your boy Tryst. I wanted to first promote, the charities of mutual aid, Believe New York, Washington Square Park Mutual Aid, and now also I'm joining or I'm part of Tompkins Mutual Aid, where we do breakfast for the homeless on Sundays. So I'm gonna have the Instagram for that as well in the description. Moving on to the YouTube. Got the channel Holy Baloney Jabronis, where we're out here doing everything from roasting YouTube comedians to covering some deep cuts in the news that needs to be addressed. So come over, be a jabroni, join the channel there. And then also next week, speaking of reviewing and looking at movies that are dubious and questionable, next week, starting from I believe Friday or Saturday, on my Instagram, I'll be doing Instagram lives, just watching movies that are some that I really love and some that I've been waiting to roast. And also watching YouTube commentary channels that introduced me to some of these things or that really made me think about it. So the Instagram for my Instagram will be down below, should also be Holy Baloney Jabronis now. Check it out. Come join me and we're gonna watch and make fun.
It's your boy Samurai with 2 eyes. Visually in focus is still running live, taking those pictures, making the dreams become reality. So you can hit us up. The link will be in the description. Also, stay tuned. The clothing line is coming. I know I said that 3-4 shows, but now it's coming. But it's coming. It's just I gotta put a lot of good time into this. I mean, it's not something I'm not trying to be putting a t-shirt out and that's it. Everybody does that. My clothing line is supposed to be more. It's supposed to be spiritual. It's supposed to link. When you wear it, you're supposed to feel better. So definitely some energy going into it. But stay tuned because that's coming out soon.
Maybe. I am J. Alleyn Winchester. I definitely want to be promoting my premiere book, Artemis of the Discretion, which actually brought me to this beautiful channel. And you can find it on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and several other online subscribers. It's not in stores yet because it hasn't gained enough of a following yet. I'm always looking for reviews and feedback, though, so please check out Goodreads. I am also there. You can find a bunch of places that it's where you can find the listings for it if you're more comfortable buying from another provider. I'm looking for reviews. I really need 50 on Amazon before they start cross-referencing me. So all the reviews I can get, the better. And by all means, enjoy the adventure. I also want to make sure that I'm promoting my Patreon. My brand name we're going with is Imaginings by Jay, because I'm trying to stimulate your imagination and take you to places you've never been. What we do here basically is I'm going back to the roots of storytelling with mythic roots and things like that. So I make videos on how I've created these things that are available to patrons at my $5 tier. And then the perks just grow from there. I also offer my coaching discount to new and authors that are just struggling with development and things like that. I call it the author's road trip. What we do is we go through your process, figure out how we can get you either out of writer's block, or if you really don't even know where to begin, I can help you develop your process too. So we can either just focus on you as an author or your story. And again, that comes with a discount. It's about 50% off if you join my second tier. And now my third tier has evolved into the Imaginary Boxes, which is a monthly subscription that everybody gets access to from tier 3 and 4. What I do is I write you a short story that is exclusively going to be coming to you in the mail every month, with a few little add-ons that Mrs. Winchester and I are making. We're shipping that through her Feywild Apothecary website, which is also going to be carrying my brand as a collection on her store. We're going to be trying to slowly build up some replicas from my books, and any books you buy from her, once we put the listing up there, will be signed copies. So anything you buy from feywildapothecary.com, to keep an eye on that website. We're going to have listings there soon. And again, keep an eye out for my groups on Facebook, Imaginary Boxes. We'll be having updates on things that are going in there. I know Nina here actually is doing unboxings every month on that. So keep your eyes peeled on that. And I look forward to the next adventure with you.
All right. So thank you guys for watching. We appreciate you guys viewing us, making sure that we stay on task, honey. Don't forget to subscribe to our Patreon. I will start doing Get Ready with Me's. So if you guys want to see how I get ready and my before and after, honey, yes. And also you'll be able to hear remixes of songs from Tryst and get a opportunity to get your picture taken by Visually in Focus from Samurai, and join our Discord. Yes, y'all. All of our links are in the description box, y'all. So we will see you guys in the next one.
This is not your normal recession.